Hello and welcome to this year's exam revision junior cycle home economics predictions and tips for 2026 with Miss Cown. The plan for this video, we're going to look at the layout for the 2026 exam, most importantly the tips, probable topics, and a tour of the exam revision platform. Now it's important to say that unfortunately no topics are fully guaranteed. According to the most recent updates, there are no changes to this year's 2026 paper. The only change was that the CBA2 briefs were released earlier, and at this point, students should be completing and have completed their cooking exam worth 50% of their junior cycle grade. So the layout of the junior cycle written exam, first group was examined in June 2022. So we now have 3 past papers, a sample paper and an NCCA sample paper. So that gives us a nice overview of the style of questions. It is a common level. It is a written paper worth 320 marks and you get 90 minutes. There are 2 sections, so section A is worth 80 marks. There's 10 questions. You should spend approximately 20 minutes in total, so that's about 2 minutes per question. Section B is worth the most amount of marks, so that's 240 marks. There's 3 questions, spend 60 minutes in total, and that's 20 minutes per question. So this is a time plan. When you get your paper, write down your exam number, your date of birth, and open it up. Spend the first 5 minutes reading through all of the questions so that your subconscious can start to think about the questions. And even if you want to jot down a few important things beside the questions before you go through all the questions and start answering them, that's a good idea. So you should spend 20 minutes doing section A and 60 minutes doing section B. Now, if you found during your mocks that you struggle to get the whole paper done on time, I would recommend getting section B done first, as this is worth the most amount of marks, and then going back and doing section A, which is worth 20 marks. At the end, it's important to give 5 minutes to review your answers to make sure that you didn't skip anything. And if you did leave anything blank on purpose, go back and see if you can guess any answers. So these are the exam tips. It's really important that you only write in blue or black pen because the exams are corrected in red and they're corrected digitally. Make sure that it's not erasable pens and that it's just your standard blue or black pens. In the event that you are using pencil, make sure that it is very visible and that it's not a light shade. And that should only really be used for diagrams and sketches. The booklet is scanned, so please don't write outside the boxes. Extra paper is provided at the back of the booklet, but it's really important that if you do use that extra paper, that you label it. So say if you're on long question, the first long question, you need to be able to then write on the back of the paper which long question and then say this is a continuation of this question, part A or part B, and then on the actual paper you maybe write a little star and point to the examiner that you've continued the answer to this in the back. Now the examiners, when they get the papers, they do look at the back first to make sure that candidates haven't filled out the last 3 to 4 pages. So it won't be missed, but it just makes it easier for the examiner. Exam tips. First thing you need to do is read the question. It's really, really important that you highlight or underline the key information, especially if you are looking for that distinction or higher merit. It's important that you identify the action verbs and determine if the SEE technique is used. So that's our state, explain, example, and that's our gold standard if you're looking for full marks in home economics questions. So all questions have an action verb, but what exactly does this mean? Essentially, this is the exam paper's way of telling you how much detail is required to get full marks in a question. So at junior cycle, the SEC don't provide the amount of marks on the paper. They don't tell you whether a question is worth 8 marks or 12 marks. You just have to be able to, based on the action verb, determine how much it's worth and how much you're going to need to write. So these are generally short questions. Now, that's not to say that they won't come up as part of a long question, and these aren't an exhaustive list. So what this means is there could be more. So the likes of the state, list, give an example, identify, indicate, name, recommend. So these are like your bullet point answers, okay? They're not looking for lots of detail. So you could be asked to state a source of protein and you would literally just write chicken. You wouldn't have to say that chicken is HBV and this is for growth and repair. You're just literally saying chicken. So these are for long questions. Now, these can come up as part of section A as well, okay? So all of these can come up as part of A and B. So these are the ones where you're going to need to state, explain, an example. And as I said before, it's not an exhaustive list, so there can be more action verbs, but these are the most common ones. So the likes of describe, explain, justify. So justify means to back up something, to give a reason. Evaluate, so that means you're looking at something and you're reading through it. So it could be you're asked to analyze or evaluate a menu and you need to be able to critique it and back up your answers with using that specific menu. There's critique, there's discuss, there's design or construct, so that's usually reserved to drawing. So it could be, for example, to draw a bedroom sketch, a floor plan, or it could be, for example, to design an upcycled t-shirt. Distinguish, compare, differentiate. This means that you're telling the difference between things. So SEE, super, super, super important if you're looking for the higher merit and the distinction in junior cycle home ec. So this means to state, explain, an example. So here's an example of the SEE in action. So this is the 2025 paper. So it says here, Sam, one of the teenagers in the family, enjoys baking. He will make a cake for the occasion. Outline 4 steps that should be followed in preparation for making or baking a cake to ensure success. Now, what you will notice is that they have used the action verb outline, okay? So if we look at the marking scheme, we'll see that it's looking for 4 steps and that it's graded as 5 and 3, okay? So what does that mean? We can see here that they give keywords, okay? So preparation of selves, so apron, jewelry, wash hands, prep of work area, collecting ingredients, weighing and measuring accurately, preparing tins, checking the position of oven shells, preheating the oven, follow the recipe, okay? If you give any of these, you're only going to get 3 marks, okay? Because it uses the action verb outline. So we're looking for a state, explain, example. So if you're looking to get the full 5 marks, you're going to S is state, so that's check the oven, okay? Then you're going to explain example. So you would say, I would make sure that the oven shelves are correctly positioned so that my cake tin fits in the oven before it's hot, because as we know, metal expands when heated, which means it's going to be harder to adjust it, which means I'm more likely to burn myself, okay? So you're thinking why the whole time. Why did I do this and that? Why is your reason, and that's what's going to give you your explain, your example, and that's what's going to distinguish you from a merit versus a higher merit and a distinction answer. Attempt all the questions, okay? So a guess could be correct. There's nothing that annoys an examiner more than people leaving the likes of true and false questions blank, okay? You have a 50% chance of getting each one right. However, if you do decide to give 2 answers, to say here, if I put down true and false together, that cancels it out, that gives it 0. Now say if I do mess this up and I have put true and false and then I'm like, oh actually I've decided it's true, just put a note in and just say this is my answer, okay? Then the examiner will accept the true one, but you have to be able to tell the examiner that, because otherwise they're going to think you've answered both. So it's all these little tips that are super important. Another really simple one, and this really is what gets people the distinctions, okay? So these are the people who underline the keywords in their exam questions. So this one is from last year's paper, and this was sneaky, okay? So it says draw and label the floor plan. Now a lot of candidates could have potentially missed the second bit, because and means there's 2 parts to a question, and this is something we see both junior and Leavenscert, okay? They're looking, if we look at the marking scheme, they're specifically looking for you to indicate the positions of the door, the window, the lighting, 2 items of furniture, and draw to scale, okay? So you're going to have to draw it and label these things, okay? So what I would do is I would tick these key things off, okay? So the marking scheme says they're looking for the door. I would literally tick off door, okay? And also, I see here -1, that means I haven't labeled it. So I would literally, like, say if I have the door here, and then I would write uh, door there, okay? Then if I go for my window, put my window here, and I'd label that as window, okay? Lighting, if I have a light, I'd then write light, so you'd be able to do this better on a paper. And then if I have furniture, so I might have like a bed here, I might have a sofa, you have to be able to label all these things. So you see how it's such an easy 16-mark question? But it's so easy to lose the marks if you didn't draw, label, and then indicate all of these things here. So it's really important that you underline the keywords. Okay, so I would tick off these boxes as I'm going through the question. This question had come up in an NCCA sample paper, but hadn't previously come up in the new junior cycle SEC papers. So it just shows that any type of question can be asked. So you shouldn't just, because it hasn't come up previously, doesn't mean that we can say that the paper structure is going to stay the same. So common style of question. They do ask this style of question. Now they did kind of like change the style slightly in 24, so I'll show you both of them. So this one here, part C, most teenagers are not getting enough key nutrients. Plan a balanced 2-course dinner menu that meets the nutritional needs of a teenager, okay? So this is my golden advice. Draw a small food pyramid beside it, okay? Draw it and then put in your shelves. And tick it off as you do it. So for example, I've chicken, I'll tick off my shelf that has meat. I have veg, I'll tick off my veg shelf. I have wholemeal roll, I'll tick off my wholemeal shelf. I have super milk, I'll tick off my dairy, and this automatically means that I have 4 out of 4 shelves, okay? Always include a drink, whether that's water, orange juice. Super milk is a really nice one to go with because it's fortified. It means it contains extra calcium, vitamin D. Include stars between courses, okay? Even if you have assistive text, so you're typing out your exam, make sure you know where to find the star option on Microsoft Word. Sequence, okay? So make sure that, for example, your starter is first, then your main course, okay? Or your main course first and then your dessert. Foods must suit the question and life cycle. So if you decided to go with, I don't know, beef burgers, okay, and chips, that's not necessarily a balanced meal, so it's not going to meet the question, okay? Both courses must be described, so you can't just say soup, okay, because that is going to get you 1 mark here instead of 3, okay? So you can see the marking scheme there. So this will be my sample answer. I'd say starter, I'd go chicken and vegetable soup with a wholemeal roll. I 3 stars to distinguish between the starter and the main. My main, I've gone with hidden vegetable spaghetti bolognese with lean beef mince, and then my drink is super milk, and that would then therefore get you full marks. Now this one was slightly different, okay? So in this case, this is the first time they done this one because in 22 and 23 it was just like 25. So in 24 they gave you the menu, okay? They want you to analyze. So this means you have to look at the menu and break it down, okay? Now in the marking scheme, they're specifically looking for diet and nutrition, okay? Now, that's easily missed if you don't underline this, okay? So it says analyze, explain how it meets nutritional. You see the way there's and diet, okay? So it's telling you in the question is looking for nutrients and dietary needs. But what we don't know is that we don't know which one, whether they're looking for 2 nutrition and 2 dietary or 3 nutrition and 3 dietary, okay? So you just have to, I would give 2 of each, okay? So in this marking scheme, they're looking for 1 dietary and 1 nutritional and 2 others, okay? So if I was looking for full marks, so this would be my 4 marks here, okay? I'd say nutrition, okay? I'd say point 1, my state point would be protein. My example has to come from here, okay? So cod and salmon. So if I start talking about chicken, I'm not getting the marks because chicken doesn't exist there. My explanation, we've high biological value protein necessary for growth and repair in the fish, which is an easily digestible form of protein, therefore suitable for the elderly, okay? You can talk about any of the other nutrients there. If I was talking about dietary point, these are some you could talk about. So it's soft, easy to chew foods. And then this is only the state part, so you would have to then explain all these and give reference, okay? You could also talk about variety, so there's lots of colour, texture and flavour. You could also talk about how they're familiar, comforting dishes, okay? Because the elderly sometimes don't want new modern dishes, okay? So this is something that you should be able to do. There's again 2022 exam, so that's where you're designing your own menu. Now with the meal planning guidelines, you specifically have to state, explain, example. The dishes you discuss have to relate back to your menu, and you must be able to discuss it in detail. So you could talk about nutrition, you could talk about diet through the life cycle, you could talk about how it suits a particular occasion, how it's balanced, variety, lots of stuff there. So, probable topics for June 26th. Now, these are ones that have come up most routinely in past exam questions. So, they're not unfortunately guaranteed, but these are the key areas. Okay, so the likes of your macronutrients, okay, can come up in part A and B of the exam, your micronutrients, food pyramid, menus, meal planning guidelines, diet through the life cycle, food commodities. So these are all your foods in the food pyramid. So for example, meat, fish, eggs, veggies, cereals, eggs. The consumer and their laws, textiles and quality mark symbols, upcycling a textile item, and machine/hand sewing stitches, okay? Check out our link below for a 40% discount. And as I said again, none of these are guaranteed, okay? Now, you should check out the website because we have our complete revision packages, okay? And you can get them on your phone, you can get them through your iPad or laptop. 24/7 on demand, which is fantastic. Bite-sized video tutorial grinds, PowerPoints, notes, exam paper questions, marking schemes. The quizzes are great because they're self-correcting. You can do them as many times as you want. Exam paper solutions, smart adaptive technology to guide students' learnings. So they're really good, and students do find that these do boost their grades. Now, we have leaving cert subjects, lots of them, but what you're probably most focused on as a junior cycle student is our junior cycle subjects. So we have 10 main ones, and then we have 9 base subjects, okay, so you can see all them there. And we have thousands of videos and questions, and again, see below the link for 40% off. Okay, you can see here our reviews from students and parents. So if you want to be able to access them, make sure to click on the 40% discount below, and best of luck with your junior cycle home economics written exam.